everyone, good afternoon. I am here today together with my group mates to discuss about the physical self. So physical self refers to the body that includes basic parts such as our head, neck, arms, and legs. The physical self encompasses body fundamental parts, including the head, neck, arms, and our legs. Physical self is also made up of other organs such as the brain, heart, lungs, stomach, intestine, and muscle. In general, the body performs its function less well during the infancy and old age. So beyond the visible parts, the physical self also includes vital and internal organs such as the brain, the heart, the lungs, stomach, intestine, and muscles. These organs work together to maintain bodily function. Physical efficiency generally peaks in early adulthood and decline into middle age. Physical efficiency is generally highest during early adulthood, gradually declining as we age. Infancy and old age represent periods of lower physical efficiency. Physical development and growth during childhood continues at a slow rate compared with rapid rate of growth in babyhood. So childhood development. Physical growth during childhood proceeds at a slower pace compared to the rapid growth experienced during our infancy. One of the crucial stages of development is the adolescence stage. It is a tangible aspect of the person that can be directly observed and examined. So adolescence is a critical stage of physical development, marking significant changes in the body. So the physical self is a tangible aspect of a person. It's directly observable and examinable.
Hello everyone, I am Zara Gina Sorial, and my topic for today is all about the theories of physical self. This response examines different psychological perspectives on a relationship between body and the self. Drawing upon the ideas of prominent thinkers, each theories offers a unique understanding of how the physical body contributes to the development and maintenance of personality. So first is William James. According to William James, physical self considered an initial source of sensation and necessary to the origin and maintenance of personality. It is an element of spiritual hygiene of supreme significance. So William James is the body of the source of sensation. So William James, a foundational figure in American psychology, viewed that the body as the initial source of sensation, crucial for the origin and maintenance of personality. He emphasized the importance of physical health for mental well-being, considering it a vital element on spiritual hygiene. The second one is Sigmund Freud. According to Sigmund Freud, in psychoanalytic school, construction of the self and personality makes the body and the core of human experience. Sigmund Freud, the body as the core of human experience. In contrast, Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory places the physical body at the core of human experience. The construction of the self and personality, according to Freud, is fundamentally rooted in bodily experience. So the next one is Wilhelm Reich. According to Wilhelm Reich, argued that mind and body are one. All psychological process he postulated are a part of physical processes and vice versa. So Wilhelm Reich, the unity of mind and body. Wilhelm Reich took a more radical stance, arguing for the complete unity of mind and body. He posited that all psychological processes are inextricably linked to physical processes and vice versa. The next one is Erik Erikson. According to Erik Erikson, the physical self is the role of bodily organs is especially important in the developmental stage of person's life. Later in life, developmental of physical as well as intellectual skills help determine whether the individual will achieve a sensor competence and ability to choose demanding roles complex society. Erik Erikson, Bodily Organs and Developmental Stage. Erik Erikson highlighted the significant role of bodily organs and early developmental stages. Later in life, the development of both physical and intellectual skills contributes to a sense of competence and the ability to navigate complex social roles. So the next one is Carl Jung. According to Carl Jung, physical self is argued that the physical body and the external world can be known only of psychological experiences. So Carl Jung, psychological experiences as the basis of knowing. Carl Jung's perspective differs significantly. He argued that the physical body and the external world are only knowable through psychological experiences. This emphasizes the subjective nature of our understanding of both our bodies and the world around us. So the last one, but not in the least, is B.F. Skinner's. According to B.F. Skinner's, says that the role of the body is of primary importance. So B.F. Skinner's, the body's primary importance. B.F. Skinner's, a behaviorist, asserted the primary importance of the body, although his focus was primarily on observable behaviors. This statement underscores the fundamental role of physical body in all human experiences.
My name is Tracy C. Bandingon and my topic is about the importance of beauty. After going through all the concepts and theories that may affect the person's view of his physical self, there's another factors that strongly impacts their perceptions, his physical milieu. Culture is defined as a social system that is characterized by the shared meanings that are attributed to people and events by its members. First, as a biological entity, the body has a functional role. But as a social entity, it is the most visible way of expressing and presenting someone's identity. So, while the body has essential biological functions, as a social role in shaping identity and expresses is equally significant. The interplay between these two aspects makes the body a complex and dynamic entity. Next, research found that a person who is perceived as attractive makes more money than a person of below average looks. So attractive people often benefits from a halo effect, where positive perceptions of their appearance lead to assumptions of other positive qualities like competence, intelligence, and trustworthiness. This can lead to a preferential treatment in hiring promotions and salary negotiations. Next, in politics, voters who are not actively engaged in social political issues choose candidates based on looks 90% of time. So while the specific claim that 90% of disengaged voters choose candidates based on solely on looks is exaggerated, it accurately reflects a broader trend where physical appearance significantly influence voting behavior, particularly among those less informed about political issues. Next, a cognitive bias is an error in reasoning, evaluating, remembering, or any other mental process that is often a result of holding onto one's preferences and beliefs regardless of contrary information. Cognitive biases are systematic patterns of deviation from norm or rationality and judgment. They are not simply errors in reasoning due to stubbornness, but rather predictable, often unconscious, error in thinking that affect how we process information and make decisions, while holding on to preferences and beliefs despite contrary information and contribute to cognitive biases. Next, the halo effect refers to the tendency of people to rate attractive individuals more favorable for their personality traits or characteristics as compared to those who are less attractive. It highlights how a positive attribute, attractiveness, can bias our judgment of other unrelated attributes. However, it's important to note that the halo effect isn't limited to attractiveness. It can apply to any positive trait or characteristics influencing judgments in various contexts. For example, a person perceived as a competent might also be seen as trustworthy, even if there's no evidence to support the assumption. A woman is what she wears. This statement is from the work of James Keynes on Fashion 1990. A woman is what she wears, from James, is provocative and suggests that clothing significantly defines a woman's identity and presentation to the world. It highlights the powerful role fashion plays in the shaping perceptions of gender, social status, and individual expressions. However, it's highly debated assertion. While clothing is certainly a powerful tool for self-expression and social signaling, reducing a woman's entire identity to her clothing is a simplification and ignores other crucial aspects of her being. Her personality, experiences, values, and aspirations. The statement is more likely intended to provide thought about the relationship between clothing, identity, and societal expectations rather than to be taken literally. So next, standards of beauty. Symmetrical defined not with proportions but rather with similarity between the left and right of the face. While proportionality refers to the relative sizes of different facial features, symmetry focuses specifically on likeness between the left and right halves. A perfectly symmetrical face would have each half of mirror image of the other. In reality, perfect symmetry is rare, and slight asymmetries are generally considered normal. A degree of generally considered normal is as facial symmetry can be factor in judgments of attractiveness. However, it's important to note that other factors is also play a significant role in facial aesthetics. So last, beauty and self-expression across culture. Since birth, the socialized body is subjected to culture norms. From the moment we are born, we are immersed in culture context that shapes our understanding of the body and its acceptable forms of expression. This includes norms related to appearance, clothing, hygiene, body modifications, behavior, posture, movement, touch, and even the every perceptions of our bodies. Ideas about beauty, health, and sexuality. These norms are not inherent or natural but learned through interactions with family, peers, media, and institutions. The process socializations, therefore, profoundly influences how we experience and present our bodies throughout our lives.
Good day everyone, I am Alnadski Adnullah. Today, we will discuss about male anatomy. So, what is male anatomy? Male have both internal and external genitalia that are responsible for procreation and sexual intercourse. Males produce their sperm on a cycle, and unlike the female's ovulation cycle, the male sperm production cycle is constantly producing millions of sperm daily. The main male sex organs are the penis and testicles, the latter of which produce semen and sperm. The semen and sperm, as a result of sexual intercourse, can fertilize an ovum in the female's body. The fertilized ovum, zygote, develops into a fetus which is later born as a child.
Female anatomy. Female external genital, collectively known as vulva, which include the mons veneris, labia majora, labia minora, clitoris, vaginal opening, and uterine opening. Female internal reproduction organ consists of vagina, uterus, fallopian tube, and ovaries. The uterus hosts developing fetus, produce vaginal and uterine secretion. The process of male sperm through the fallopian tube while the ovaries releases the eggs. A female is born with all eggs already produced. The vagina is attached to the uterus through the cervix, while the uterus is attached to the ovaries and the fallopian tube. Females have a monthly reproduction cycle. At certain interval, the ovaries release an egg, which passes through the fallopian tube into the uterus. If in transit, it means with the sperm. The sperm might be penetrate and merge with the egg, fertilize it. If not fertilized, the egg is flushed out and system through the menstruation.
Hi everyone, my name is Gian Roses Borse and I'm going to report the sexual arousal and erogenous zones what turns people on. Sexual arousal can be triggered by various factors, including the stimulation of erogenous zones, which are areas of the body that are highly sensitive to touch and can elicit sexual pressure. These zones vary between individuals, but common examples include genitals, breasts, neck, and inner thighs. Additionally, visual cues like looking at the partner's body can also contribute to arousal. Erogenous zones include first the genitals. This is the primary erogenous zone both for men and women. Next is the breast. Nipples and the surrounding area are highly sensitive. Next is neck. The nape of the neck is a particularly sensitive area. Next is inner thighs. The inner thighs are also known for their sensitivity. Next is lips. The mouth and lips are also highly sensitive and can be a source of pleasure. And lastly, other areas. Erogenous zones can also include the armpits, lower abdomen, buttocks, and shoulders. What turns people on, leading to sexual arousal, is incredibly diverse and personal. However, a common element is the stimulation of erogenous zones, areas of the body with heightened sensitivity to touch, leading to sexual pleasure. While the genitals are the primary erogenous zones for both men and women, many other areas can also be highly sensitive, such as breasts, neck, inner thighs, and lips. Beyond physical touch, visual stimulation, like seeing a partner's body, and other sensory experiences also play a significant role in arousal. In short, there's no single answer. What's arousing varies greatly from person to person. Factors influencing arousal. First is the touch. Gently massaging or stroking or even just the sensation of touch can activate nerves and trigger arousal. Visual cues. Looking at a partner's body, especially erogenous zones, can be sexually stimulating. Psychological factors. Arousal can be influenced by thoughts, fantasies, and emotional connections with a partner. Hormonal factors. Sex hormones play a role in arousal and sexual behavior. Personal preferences. Individuals have unique preferences for how they like to be touched and stimulated. Sexual arousal is a complex process influenced by many factors. Physical touch, like gently stroking, is a key element. Visual cues such as seeing a partner's body also play a significant role. Beyond the physical thoughts, fantasies and emotional connection with a partner strongly influence arousal. Hormones also contribute, and personal preferences determine what feels good to each individual. The phase of sexual response. There are 4 stages of human sexual response: desire, arousal, orgasm, and resolution. Phase 1, the desire. General characteristics of this phase, which can last from a few minutes to several hours, may include any of the following. First, muscle tension increases. Next, the heart rate weakness and breathing gets faster. Next, skin may become flush. Blotches may appear on your chest and back. Next, the nipples become hardened or erect. Next, the blood flow to your genitals increases, which causes swelling of the clitoris and an erection. If you have a vagina, you may feel it get wet or see your breasts become fuller. And lastly, if you have a penis, you may see your testicles swell or your scrotum, sac that holds testicles, tighten, and you may begin secreting a lubricating liquid from a tip of your penis. So, the desire phase of sexual arousal involves increased muscle tension, faster heart rate and breathing, flushed skin, hardened nipples, and increased blood flow to the genitals, causing swelling and erection or vaginal lubrication. These changes can last from minutes to hours. The second phase, which is the arousal. The arousal phase lasts until just before orgasm. It takes you to the brink of sexual pleasure and could include: first, the changes in the desire phase get even more intense. Second, the vagina continues to swell from increased blood flow and the vaginal walls turn a darker color. Next, the clitoris become highly sensitive, may even be painful to touch. Next, the testicles withdraw up into the scrotum. Next, breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure continue to increase. Next, the muscle tension continues to increase. And lastly, muscle spasms may begin in the feet, face, and hands. So, the arousal phase intensifies the changes from the desire phase. Genital swelling increases, the clitoris becomes highly sensitive, and breathing, heart rate, and muscle tension continue to rise, sometimes causing spasms in the extremities. This phase continues until orgasms. The third phase, which is the orgasm. This phase is the climax of the sexual response cycle. It's the shortest of the phases and generally lasts only a few seconds. The orgasm phase can include: first, involuntary muscle contraction or twitching. Second, there's a sudden, forceful release of sexual tension. Next, contraction of vaginal muscles. Next, ejaculation, which is releasing semen from your penis. Lastly, a rash or sex flush may appear over your entire body. So, orgasm, as shortest phase, is a sudden release of sexual tension marked by involuntary muscle contraction, ejaculation in males, and sometimes a body-wide rash. Phase 4, the last phase, which is resolution. During this phase, your body slowly returns to its normal level of functioning. Any swollen or erect body parts return to their previous size or position. People may feel a sense of satisfaction and often fatigue. Some females can go back to the orgasm phase with further sexual stimulation and may experience additional orgasms. Males typically need recovery time after orgasms, called a refractory period, during which they can't reach orgasm again. The duration of the refractory period varies of changes with age. So, resolution is the return to a normal state after orgasm, with swollen areas returning to their normal size. A sense of satisfaction and fatigue are common. Women may experience multiple orgasms, while men typically have a refractory period before they can have another orgasms.